Now, if you look into the Garbhaja Phakka, the second important type of Phakka, of course, I told that it should not be considered as type of Phakka, rather it should be considered as cause of Phakka. So, one of the cause of the Phakka is Kshira, and we have seen all the problems related to Kshira. It may be breast milk or it may be artificial milk. Now, come to the Garbhaja Phakka. So, what here Kashyapa says is Garbhini Matraka Kshipram Stanyasya Vinivartanat Kshiyate Mriyate Va Api Sa Phakva Garbhapidita. Again, you look into the second line. Kshiyate Mriyate Va Api Sa Phakva Garbhapidita. There is gradual development of emaciation. First, there is Kshaya. That means Kshiyate. Kshiyate means Kshaya. Then Mriyate. Mriyate means Maranam Iva. That means a death-like condition of the baby. That is a slowly progressive emaciation, slowly progressive cachexia leading to a FTT-like conditions, chronic stage of or death-like condition of FTT-like condition or failure to thrive-like conditions. But the cause which is given here is Garbhini Matraka Kshipram Stanyasya Vinivartanat. Okay, Garbhini Matraka Stanyasya Vinivartanat. And how to explain this? See, one of the major cause for so many nutritional problems in the early part of the life is poor spacing of the child. Now, in this case, so when he explains the Garbhaja Phakka, he says that if the mother is already lactating and one small kid is there, that means in the infantile period, a kid is there who is still fed by the breast milk. In the meantime, if the mother is pregnant again, then Garbhini Matraka Stanyam, Garbhini Matraka Stanyasya Vinivartana. That means a Garbhini Matraka, Mata is again Garbhini. Okay, so now the problem starts. Okay, so now we know that the hormones which are related to the maintenance of the pregnancy and hormones which are related to the production of the breast milks, they exactly opposite to each other. They cannot work together. Okay, so now what happens? Mother is lactating now, and she is having high amounts of the luteinizing hormone. She is having high amount of the prolactin, oxytocin, etc. So meantime, she is pregnant again. Okay, the lactational amenorrhea is not maintained. She is pregnant again. Then what happens? Another fetus now start develop in the womb, and the hormonal shift changes now for the estrogen and progesterone for the maintenance of the pregnancy. So now these two hormones, they cannot work together. They are exactly opposite to each other. Now what happens? One of the hormone has to shut down. Okay, so when a pregnancy starts, usually the hormones related to the lactation will go into shutdown. So when this happens, the first child who is already feeding, or the first child who is already in the lactation period and mother is feeding that first child, so that will very badly get affected because there is no breast milk. There is no breast milk. So this is how the first child will going to suffer with the Phakka Roga, or first child will going to suffer FTT, because the quantity of the breast milk gradually slows down and completely stops. As the another pregnancy proceeds there, this hormones related to the breast milk secretion completely stops gradually, and the first child badly suffer because there is no breast milk. Okay, so therefore Sa Phakva Garbhapidita. So because of another growing Garbha, so the first child badly suffer. First child badly suffer. So that is the importance of Garbhini Matraka. Garbhini Matraka jana Stanyasya Vinivartanat. Kshipram Stanyasya Vinivartanat. So because of that particular pregnancy which is going on, fetus which is growing on, the first child will badly suffer because the lactation stops and the exclusive breastfeeding is not able to complete, and now mother has to shift that baby to the other supplementary food at the early part, which may lead to so many problems. Okay, so this leads to so much of a problem. This leads to early weaning and all the related consequences. Kshipram Stanyasya Vinivartanat. Okay, so there will be early weaning. There will be early weaning. So because of this early weaning, two things happens. One is baby is not getting the most important breast milk which is required, because breast milk is the best milk and it is very good for the brain especially, and that has been deprived to the baby. In the meantime, mother when feeding, so there will be emotional attachment. Mother when there is feeding, there will be emotional attachment. So now mother is not feeding means first child is also emotionally deprived. Okay, so first child is not able to emotionally bind with the mother, and as a result there is a lot of psychological changes. So that child is almost all humiliated now. No feeding, no love, no emotion, no concern. Everything is now, mother's whole concern is now towards the growing fetus in the womb. So first child is neglected. Usually first child will be taken care by some other members of the family. Okay, so now this leads to lack of socio, psycho and somatic constitution of the first baby. Okay, so this leads to the lack of socio, psycho, somatic constitution of the first baby because it is deprived by everything. So two things are very important. Is number one is the problems related to poor spacing leading to FTT, a nutritional problem like condition. Okay, and number two is the emotional issues. Okay, the first year of the life, mother should give complete focus on the baby as far as his emotion, security, feeding, etc. is concerned. So that has been deprived here. And so change in the hormonal balance, they work in the opposite way. This I have already explained. So suppose if the mother is shifting the baby to the artificial milk, again she has to go for the bottle feeding. Okay, then the consequence of the bottle feeding leading to FTT again. And the first child will be badly suffer nutritionally, badly suffer emotionally, badly suffer physically, and badly suffer mentally and socially. Okay, so therefore, sa fakko garbhapidita. This fakka is because of garbhapidita child. That means this first child is completely deprived from everything, and it is get exploited by the growing fetus, garbhapidita. Okay, so now apart from this, when you consider the Garhaja Phakka, we have to look into some other factor also. Although it is not mentioned in this context here. So he mentioned only Garbhini Matrika and this poor spacing of the child, etc. So Garhaja Phakka can be taken with some of the antenatal causes and perinatal causes related to the child health. Okay, now so many antenatal problems may lead to FTT-like conditions of the child in future. Okay, now nutritional status of mother during the antenatal period, Garbhavastha. Therefore, I am taking this word, Garbha and Garbha. Okay, so Garbhavastha, nutritional status of the mother. Then mother is suffering from different types of infections. Okay, intrauterine infections during the time of the mother pregnancy. So this may lead to the symmetrical and asymmetrical IUGR, intrauterine growth retardation. Now, when such a baby is delivered, definitely that baby has got more chance towards the development of FTT. Okay, so intrauterine infections, intrauterine nutritional problems, then congenital abnormalities during the antenatal period of the, that is congenital and embryological problems related to the fetus, and not only that, premature babies and low birth weight babies. So when they are born, the chance of developing FTT is more, and this can be also included under the word Garbhaja. That means the problem is occurring during the Garbha Kala. Okay, so these are the two important explanations that we can give for the Garhaja Phakka. Or in other words to say, this totally we can call these conditions as maternal causes. Okay, FTT because of maternal causes, antenatal, postnatal, perinatal. Okay, and then even this poor spacing. Basically, these are all the maternal causes. Okay, so this can be considered under the heading of Garhaja Phakka. So now we come to the next condition, the very important condition, that is Vyadhija Phakka.